In what was the most important game of week one of the 2019 college football season, we've got the best start for a particular team. We've got the most important start for a particular coach projected to be on the hot seat. The worst start for a conference for a second consecutive season, and maybe the best start of a career for one young quarterback. MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football, recapping Auburn's dramatic comeback win against Oregon 27-21 when they bypassed the field goal and went for broke, and Seth Williams came back for the football and saved Bo Nix. Was he underthrowing it, or did he know he was underthrowing it? Who knows? He's a true freshman. He gets his game one start, and it's Bo Nix, and maybe the nerves got to him. Maybe he just wasn't very good early on, but all of that could be expected against a big-time opponent, a team with not a great defense, but a really good defense, a fast defense in Oregon. And Bo Nix wasn't very good, especially in the first half. Finished 13 for 31. That doesn't sound good for 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But the kid proved to be a gamer, a baller, all those things, smart and savvy, tough, resilient, and certainly somebody who came through under pressure. Bo Nix, of course, had the 4th and 3 play in which Gus Malzahn thought he had somebody downfield to throw to. Jatarvius Whitlow, Booby said, man, when he took off, I thought, just kid, you better get it. And he did by a smidge, by that much. Otherwise, the game's most likely over, and we're talking about Oregon getting the Pac-12 on the map because the Pac-12 has lost 10 consecutive games since 2008 to ranked SEC teams. I would like to see the stat of how many of those games involved ranked Pac-12 teams. So, a lot of those games might have been mismatches, so that's to be considered as well. So then on 3rd and 10, there's about 20 seconds left, and, man, Bo Nix throws a shot on the sideline that was just a beautiful pass to Seth Williams. The out route was delivered right on time, right on the money. Then again, they were in field goal range because he picked up the 13 yards from the Oregon 39 to get them to the 26. That's still a 43-yard field goal, but it's on carpet. It's inside. It should be a makeable one for Carlson. But they go for broke with 10 seconds left in the game, roughly something in that range, 15 seconds left in the game. Up top to Seth Williams, who was coming back for the football, beat his man and scored the game-winning touchdown. So Gus Malzahn obviously showed a lot of trust in Bo Nix. Most coaches don't want to turn the ball over, especially true freshman quarterback. Let's eliminate the second-guessing possibilities. But Gus Malzahn said, what the heck, go for it, let's get it. And Nix delivered. Down 21-6, they win 27-21. All right, we talked about Booby Whitlow. He had a big second half, got off to a slow start, but really Auburn showed their physicality, their physical dominance late in the game. They just beat up Oregon, and it was a great game. It was a close game. It was very reminiscent of the game against Washington last year because the Huskies were not dominated in that game. Auburn did not prove to be the better team, but they won the game. They were that much better. Same thing against the Huskies last year, 21-16. And this game as well was not any kind of shootout. It was a very controlled game. Defense ruled for the most part. Justin Herbert, this was the storyline. It was the NFL first-round quarterback against the kid getting his first start as a true freshman at quarterback, and the Oregon advantage at that position. And it probably proved out, but certainly not in the fourth quarter, as Herbert went 28 of 37 for 242 yards and a touchdown. But matched the 28 completions against 242, meaning that he didn't really hit Auburn for big plays on a consistent basis. It was a controlled effort for Oregon, and Auburn would not let him really cut loose and get downfield for big plays. On the first drive that led to the Oregon touchdown, he did have a big on 3rd and 10, roughly play-action pass that he circulated downfield for a big gain to set him up for the first touchdown. The 4th and inches play was huge. Of course, Herbert delivered to the tight end, who was hit just right on the sticks. The measurement was huge. It kept them from getting the first down. And, of course, they still went for it. Oregon did with C.J. Verdell Kevin Steele, defensive coordinator, slanted the line. And we've been talking about Auburn's defensive prowess up front with one of the best defensive lines in college football, talking about that all off season, and they came through in this one in stuffing Verdell when it counted with 5.5 minutes left to play. Otherwise, maybe Oregon wins it. Maybe that was just enough that Oregon needed, but they get stuffed. There you go. Auburn takes over, gets it done. Joey Gatewood lost the quarterback battle. We would like to note that he scored what was the touchdown that got them within 21-20, of course, on what Gus Malzahn called the Cam Newton play. Play down near the goal line. Of course, he went over the top, almost lost the football, but broke the plane, and it was 21-20. All right, Oregon had chances to put this thing away a number of times, or at least extend the lead in a comfortable way. They were up 7-0. Brian Addison couldn't haul in a catch in the back of the end zone. Camden Lewis then missed the field goal from 20 yards away. Herbert missed an exchange inside the Auburn red zone. It was inside the 10. The muffed exchange between the back and Herbert. The fumble that was picked up by Big Cat Bryant, who rumbled 83 yards. So that was a total swing in possessions. Oregon looked like it might go up 21-3. They fumble on the missed exchange. Not a forced fumble by Auburn, a missed exchange by Herbert and the back. And then Bryant brings it back 83 yards, and suddenly Auburn gets the field goal, and it goes from a possible 18-point deficit to just 8 points at 14-6. All right, so for the second consecutive year, the Pac-12 has its showcase game against the SEC, and it loses a hard-fought game. This time, Oregon going down in the final seconds, 27-21. So Washington doesn't play the type game non-conference that can really showcase them. Their biggest non-conference games against BYU. Notre Dame is on the schedule for both Stanford and USC as usual. Of course, this was Oregon's shot non-conference. They did not get it done. And their next date's at Stanford. Their next big game, I should say, in opening Pac-12 play against Stanford, September 21st. I should definitely not overlook Nevada because Purdue may have in the second half, and Nevada is coming off a big double-digit upset of Purdue, and they are the next opponent for the Ducks. Auburn's got Tulane and Kent State the next 2 weeks, and then they've got the game to open up SEC play against Texas A&M on September 21st. That, of course, always a big one, a game in which Auburn beat the Aggies after trailing by 10 points in the fourth quarter on the Plains last year. Your thoughts about Auburn, thoughts about Oregon, the SEC, and the Pac-12 right here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Let's talk it up.